G'day, welcome to Mt.Coramba Apiculture. It's Thursday the 8th of May 2025. I'm at my site here at Korora, which is right in Coffs Harbour. The ocean's just over there, very hilly country. This property's a blueberry and banana farm. Noise in the background is the new Coffs Harbour bypass going in. So this is just at the northern entrance of what's going to be known as Gately's Tunnel. So there's quite a bit of construction noise going on. So yeah, you'll hear a lot of that through this video. This site's interesting, but the bees don't belong to me, they belong to the property owner. That I last looked at these bees prior to coming here. That was when I was working for DPI, and we stripped and matted them and checked them for Varroa a couple of times. And I knew from that experience they were in bad shape and not very well looked after. It's not the fault of the property owner, it's just the beekeeper he had let him. So he asked me to look after him a couple of times and I said no, and I finally said yes recently. So when I came here, the grass was overgrown, all the hives were crooked, they were facing the wrong way, the boxes were damaged and rotten. I knew from experience that inside of them wasn't really good, and that the frames had never been replaced or anything like that, and some of them had collapsed inside the hive, so they were a real mess. I came here and started looking at them. I opened one up and I actually expected they'd be dead, so I did a Varroa wash, and they were washing 30, which wasn't too bad considering they hadn't been looked at for 12 months and certainly no treatments in them. So I put Bayvarol and everything, and that came out about 10 days ago. There were 14 hives here. There's only 9 left, so a few were dead, and I found AFB in 2 of them, so they're gone as well. One got knocked. I'm not sure what knocked it. I extracted honey out of it, and I think the beetles just took it on and killed it. So we're just going to build up again with what's left here. Doing lots of checks to make sure there's no return of AFB, which is really important. And yeah, the farmers replaced a lot of the rotten boxes. We've cleaned up around the hives, and yeah, so what I'm doing today is I just want to, having had that Bayvarol out for 10 days, I just want to wash them and see what the reinfestation rate is like. I'm expecting it'll be pretty high, and we'll need to make a decision about what sort of mite treatments we use going forward. So no such thing as winter here. It's summer all year round at Korora. So these bees won't get much of a break in terms of brood and mite reproduction as well. So yeah, so that's it. Let's go and get stuck into these and have a look, and we'll just do a general beekeeping video, and yeah, with an emphasis on Varroa. All right, so it's all 10 frame full depth gear. I took all the honey off these about a month ago, so they a little bit lighter than they were, but they're still pretty heavy boxes. They put a lot back in. We've got that plastic sheet there just to stop them filling those lids up again. They were full of comb. Let's get these supers off. Wow, it's nearly full again. That's heavy as well. So these were checked for disease a couple of weeks ago. They had a good thorough inspection, and I've also been going through and trying to get some of the old rotten combs out. So new frames here. So the property owner's committed to getting these hives back in good shape again. So these old frames are pretty good. The combs that were removed were very old and had nothing in them. So the objective here now is to find a queen and do an alcohol wash and just see how they're coping with the mite levels. There's a nice frame of seal brood, a bit of pollen in there as well. Not the worst comb in the world, but it still needs replacing. Plenty of drones in there. So as these old combs move towards the edge, they can be pulled out and taken out and just thrown away. Can be a bit spicy, these bees. They haven't been requeened forever. Just go steady with them. Not a bad brood pattern, just an old comb. So we'll just work methodically through here and try and find this queen. If you've watched my videos, you know I don't like having any drone comb in there that I haven't put in. There's been no mite trapping done in these. It's just one Bayvarol treatment. Lovely strong hives. Yeah, lots of drones in this hive. So this frame went in 10 days ago, so we'll see what they've done. Yeah, they've drawn that out nicely. That's good. This is where I'd expect to find the queen if she's going to start laying in here soon. Yeah, they haven't mucked around with that. That'll be the first sheet of fresh foundation they've had for years, I reckon. Sit that out. Beautiful sunny day here. So the bees are behaving well. I've actually got in today to do them because I think there's more rain coming, believe it or not. It's just been so wet here. It's an old comb on plastic foundation. Still got a bit of life in it. Very elusive, this queen. See how this fresh comb's going. So once again they're drawing that out nicely. Right, so I haven't got her on that first run through. I'm just going to turn this camera off and get it in the shade and just go through and try and concentrate on finding this queen. Right, so I managed to find her straight away when I put the camera away, and there she's in the hair clip queen catcher there. So let's get some bees and do an alcohol wash and see how these mite levels are going. So I just want bees off a frame of brood. And down there. Shake them in. Just bump them into the corner. Always half measure of bees. Half cup of bees, I mean. And this this big strong hive won't miss 300 bees. I can guarantee that. So let's get our hive back together. Ouch. Nice to see those fresh frames of foundation getting drawn out. Those combs push back in nice and tight and get our wall frame in. Alright, so that's got that hive back together. Let's do our wash and just see what sort of reinfestation rates we're getting. So my experience with Bayvarol is at the end of that 8-week period you wash them and you won't find a mite. So I'm assuming that was the case. Let's see what's coming back into them. Well, that's looking good. I can't see one there yet. It's still a 0. Convinced that the not the secret, but I'm convinced that you have to be doing these washes all the time. If you don't know what your mite loads are, you're just guessing. So it's really important that, I believe, that you do a wash on a regular basis. If you haven't got mites yet, if you haven't detected mites, get into that drone brood and get in under there and have a look, see if you can find mites in there. You'll find them there before you find them in a wash. But yeah, once you've got mites established in your hives, yeah, once a month at least, you should be checking them. Yeah, and that's still a 0, so that's fantastic. We'll do a few more and see how they look. Very good. Right, so we're down into hive 4. It's just easy to film these hives on the end. The hive stands are a little awkward. So, first hive was a 0 mites, second hive was a 0, and the third one was a count of 2. So, pretty pleased with that. It's not what I was expecting. I'll go into why later, but yeah, I was kind of expecting higher mite counts 10 days after that Bayvarol's come out, but yeah, that's really pleasing. So, one less thing to worry about. Just get in and find this queen and do another wash. They've been easy to find today, which is good. It's definitely the sort of comb you want to get out of your beehives, all that old worn out stuff. Very old, and yeah, you can't get brood out of that, so it's just the process of getting them out over the next 12 months or so. You can see 2 new combs have gone in here 10 days ago, so we'll see how they're drawing them out. Look for our queen. Nice, nice pollen in there. It's a good sight, this. These bees have... I took 2 boxes of honey off nearly all of these hives a couple of months ago, and yeah, they filled them straight back up again, which is not happening at my sites out in the valley. Once again, old comb there that needs to come out eventually. Still plenty of drones about for the late summer, early autumn. See how they're going on this new comb. Yeah, almost fully drawn out, and they'll be loving that fresh foundation and fresh wax. Not quite laid up yet, but she won't be long. She'll be laying in there. Put that frame outside to give me more room, and just make a little gap here so the queen doesn't run all the way to the wall. So once again, nicely drawn out, and not seeing any eggs in there yet, but she must be very close to laying in there. See what the other side looks like. Nothing in there yet. Yeah, that's a pretty sight. Bees are just starting to pop me on the back of the hand, so we'll a little touch of smoke in there just to settle them down. As usual, when I'm filming, I can't find the queen. 3 more frames there, there's hope. Nice healthy brood. It's good to see, considering the history of American foul brood in this site. Yeah, the key is to find it early and get rid of them. Don't reuse old gear like this other old fella used to do. You'll never get rid of AFB. Right, I haven't found her in the first run through, so I'll just turn that camera off so it doesn't overheat, and I'll come back when I find her. Right, down in the hive 5, I couldn't find the queen in that last one. Went through it twice and couldn't find her. She's definitely there, but a bit elusive. There's the trouble with 10 frame hives, it was full of bees. So the other issue I've got at the moment is the bees are just a bit robby, so I'm limited on the amount of time I can have them open. They are starting to rob those supers that are sitting up on the trestle behind me, so just need to be fairly quick. So let's try and find a queen in here. I'll comb on black plastic foundation. That'll come out. That'll come out next time I've down in the brood box and got the spare frames. Just haven't got them here today. White foundation, don't see that very often. Just split that brood up a bit. Not the greatest queen in the world. See if we can find her. So frame of foundation that went in 10 days ago or so. Yeah, they're starting to pull that out nicely. Sit that aside. Minimal small hive beetle in these hives for some reason, and you know, these were untouched for at least 12 months, and they got through just fine, which is kind of why I have a hands-off approach to beetles. Queens are winning today. Got it. See her walking around there. Put that down and pick her up. Great things, those hair clip queen catchers. Right, let's do a wash. You can see those bees starting to rob there, so I need to go fairly quickly. $300 bees into the wash bottle, and they won't miss them at all. Right, I just had to rush and get that hive back together. They're not robbing hard, but they're having a good sniff around, so just got to be quick. Let's do this wash and see what my night loads are here. I like. So that's a 0 so far. Yeah, I'm really pleased about that. Unexpected, but yeah, it's a good result. Another 0, you beauty. Good stuff. So back again, I had to stop filming down at Korora. It was just, bees were a bit robby, and I just had to move quickly to get through it to get that job done. So 9 hives there. The highest mite count I had was 2. So 2 hives had 2 mites, which is pretty good. I thought that I'd have more higher mite counts there, because there's at least 2 loads of bees close to there, which I know aren't being looked after. So I was quite surprised. Fortunately, we've got a bit of competition here with a mower, but we'll see how we go. So I'm back out into the valley. It's at a place called Central Bucka, and these 2 hives belong to the same farmer. So I put a super on them the other day, and I got into the brood box and replaced a few frames. So let's get down in there and have a look, and we'll do some mite washes as well, and just see if there's any difference between here and the coast in terms of reinfestation. Once again, these had Bayvarol taken out 10 days ago. So let's get in and have a look. So this hive was just a double, and well, both of them were doubles, and they were full of honey. So I put this second super on the other day, see what it looks like. Oh, wow. Oh. That's heavy. This is a box of stickies I took off some of my hives. See if they're putting anything in it. Oh yeah, a little bit going in, that's good. Certainly needed the space. Wow, they're strong. That's got you down in the brood box. So here, 2 frames. Both these hives actually had an old syrup feeder, frame feeder in them, which has probably been there for years, which has been removed and replaced with 2 fresh frames. So the plan is here the same as this morning. Grab that queen and do an alcohol wash. Frame of honey. There she is. Bugger, just a bit slow. Popped up right in front of me. Let's see if I can find her. What frame she went on. She might be on this one. Damn it, you don't often see them pop up like that. Bet I can't find her again now. Bugger it. I thought she went on this one. It's not going to be easy to find on there. Damn it. What I might do, just have one more look on here. What I'll do, I'll just go across here and grab one of these frames and do a wash off it. A quick check for her. I doubt she's on there. Get our 300 bees. Right, get this hive back together and do our wash. particularly happy, this lot. So that's got that hive back together. Let's do this wash and see what our mite count is here. First little look I had, there was none in it, but let's do it properly. I think that's pollen. Let's have a better look. Yep, no mites in there, just a bit of pollen, so that's good. Let's open this other fella up and see what we can see in there. Righto, here we go. So once again, this hive had a feeder in it, and it's come out and there's two fresh frames of foundation gone in. See if we can pull this out, might be a bit easier. So see eggs and larvae in those frames of foundation, so they're 10 days old, the foundation I mean. That mower stopped, which is good. Wall frame there, full of honey and pollen. So there's the next frame that'll come out. You can see all that worn out comb there. It's all been chewed out and filled with propolis, so it's a definite contender to come out next time. I don't want them in my brood boxes. Stand up, look for this queen. Here comes the mower again. That's great. Another fresh frame of foundation here. And I can see eggs and larvae in there as well, so that's good. Try and find this queen. I'm not. There she is. There she is walking around there. So we'll grab her. She's nice and safe in that cage. Let's do an alcohol wash. And still in there. Right, we'll grab this frame out. Plenty of nurse bees on there. Let's get our 300 bees. Right, we'll wash that later. Let's get this hive back together. That's good, that's got that hive back together. They're doing really well. Let's do our wash. Let's see how we're going here. See, that's going to come up 0 again, so here the old Bayvarol does the job. 10 days after it's gone, still no detectable mites in there, so that's good. One mite. Two. Sometimes with these double wash bottles, you just got to give them a bit of a longer wash, and you'll dislodge a few mites. Sometimes if you just even let it, if you've only got a few hives or you got a few wash bottles, just let them sit for 5 minutes and you'll get more out. But yeah, they're pretty accurate. There's only one back down there now, but I'll just give them half a dozen washes and count the highest number that comes out. Still only one there, but I saw two, so that's good. That's those hives done for today. Well, that video went a bit longer than I thought it would, so if you've made it this far, congratulations. Just want to reiterate, as I said in the when I was inspecting the hives, that it's really important that you monitor your mite levels. I've learned a lot this season about Varroa. I've still got a lot to learn, but one thing I do know is that if you're not monitoring and if you don't know your mite levels, you'll get yourself in trouble because you don't know what you don't know, and you must know at all times how your mite levels are trending, and take some sort of action based on that. If you do nothing, you'll lose your bees. It's just simple. You'll lose your bees. So there's been some, in the Coffs Harbour area alone, there's been some big losses recently. One bloke who was just not, I don't know, just wasn't getting into his bees enough, I don't think, and lost a big load at Corindi. Another bloke that's come into the area and maybe not really tuned into the country here and lost a load of bees. I don't know why. I haven't lost a single hive yet, so you just can't take your eye off the ball with Varroa. And Varroa combined with small hive beetle, which is pretty full on up here. Yeah, you need to be really careful. So I think the reason why a lot of people are losing bees is they're relying on what I call for now soft treatments like oxalic acid, be it on label or off label. Oxalic acid on its own won't control high mite loads, and it won't drop high mite loads from high back down to low. Some of the fogging can do it, the sublimation, but it's a pretty intense process and probably not that great for your bees. So just the points I wanted to take away from this video. Prime News, which is a local television station here on the mid-north coast or the east coast of Australia, did an interview with me a couple of days ago, so just on Varroa. I'll leave a link to it in the video notes and also in the comments as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, and once again, if you made it this far, congratulations. See you later.